Hello everyone. Let's give a shout out of who all is here. Let's see how many people have joined in.
They would join in some time. एकदम से notification, it takes a time, so you should just start off.
Okay, there are 10 people right now. Cool. Let's just wait until 12:05 and then we can start off with what we have planned. So the idea behind this entire series is for us. Okay, so Google Cloud Developer Community or GDG Cloud, as we know it today, was formed on May 24th, 2018. We celebrated a birthday last year on May 25th because that was a Saturday. Um, because in these circumstances we can't have be having an in-person event uh, on which is why we thought that why not, let's just make the entire month about it in a series of people. The kind of these interviews are basically giving an ode to people who have made this community possible. uh, People have worked hard, and it extends beyond what the entire team has. It extends beyond the limited set of people that are restricted to GDG Cloud, but then it expands to the entire developer community ecosystem in the Delhi NCR region. Um, so that is the idea. We'll be talking to a couple of people. We have Sakshi, everyone else in the team. We'll be talking to people from GDG, Arpan, Shilpa, Sid, Vaibhav, Vishal, Aman. I'm trying to get in touch with other people as well. Let's just see, and we really want to know where these people come from, what have they done, uh, why this developer community ecosystem is so important to them, that they are such that they provide such commitment levels uh, to enable others to achieve something else. So that is the basic idea, and let's just celebrate these people individually and give them a, a basic tribute of what we should do, and of how they can, of how other people can grow, maybe if their story inspires other people in some way or not. So yeah, that's the idea. Cool. So today we are starting off with Sakshi. um, so
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, so Sakshi and I have been working with the GDG Cloud for over a year. It's been actually a year and a half, I guess, and it has been a very integrative process for me, because I was someone who was foreign to the entire community ecosystem, and Sakshi helped me ramp it up. And because Sakshi, as a person, has also had experience with leading previous communities. No, she has led many women-oriented initiatives. She has had an extensive work experience as a researcher, as a student. She just started out as a career, and this, and then she has had an amazing experience with machine learning, uh, competitive coding, or anything of those sorts. It's a great insight for someone who wants to start out their career in tech, and basically for maybe women who are trying to get into data science, and maybe how people can leverage into data science. And there are multiple aspects to it's a great level of insight that one can grab from her, and we definitely look forward to have a great session. um, okay, it's 12:05. I think we should start. um, okay, so hi Sakshi. This would be a podcast kind of format, so I'll be asking
Hi,
questions,
Pranay.
asking you.
Well, it
Uh,
feels really weird because this is the first time I am getting interviewed by somebody. Usually, I am the one who just keeps asking people. So it's quite a role reversal, but I think it's going to be quite fun.
yeah. How does it feel to be on the other side of the table? You had an amazing stint with your AMA series. How
Yeah,
does it feel to be on the other
yeah.
side of the table?
Well, I now know how my speakers would feel because I think I'm probably one of those now. So, everybody used to tell me that, okay, so we should start. Now we're starting. So, there used to be all of those kind of thoughts. I said, yeah, just be cool. It's like normal chit chat and all of that. So, then, like, okay. So now it feels okay. When somebody introduces you and awesome. It was an awesome introduction. Thank you so much. I think it was there were some of the things that I felt that okay, I've been just put on a pedestal, but thank you. It was really really sweet of you to say all of that. So it feels quite different. It feels good. It was very sweet. Thank you.
Cool. It was my pleasure having you. It has been an amazing experience with you, having you on the team, and then it being able to drive. I remember the first half of the last year, a lot of people were doing a lot of work, and we'll actually set up a baseline for what we do today. And yeah, okay. So let's just start off. So for anyone who's not aware of who you are, how what would you tell them?
It's a very strange question that you ask because only yesterday I was asked to introduce myself in one of my meetings. It was just a casual meeting, and I said, okay. Then I started giving these things that I've done, those things that I've done, and everybody on my team was just like silent mute for a minute, and after that, they all started applauding. So I don't know which all should I add and which I should not, because I was just randomly I was just telling, okay, I've done this, I've done that, and then I felt like okay, I shouldn't have so said so many things. Then I just needed to say a one or two things. So again, I'm not sure you're again. I'm also in a dilemma,
Yeah, let's
but
let
I think
let's yeah,
so. You want to know the entire thing that I've
yeah,
done?
let it flow, right? People should know.
Okay. So, well, I'm a normal Soundeli girl, starting from there. So, I've obviously heard so many jokes about it. Everybody cracks me up with that, and some of them are obviously not true. Secondly, I am a big believer of linguistics. I love talking about languages and I think and following cultures. And I think from there, I got extremely motivated to work in natural language processing. And I have done most of my projects in that. I think I just understood that there's a need for machine learning to work over text and extract a lot of insights and information which we could use and automate so that our ability to understand linguistics in general becomes way simpler, and we have an idea of how, because obviously let's say I'm Indian, I would not know Chinese, but through machine learning I can know Chinese. There's so much of interlinking there, so I think that really really motivated me. And I love writing poems, I love writing thriller stories. So again, my textual love and my love for machine learning, they all just coincided, and I think that is what I actually wanted to do, and I'm so happy that I'm able to live my dream. I love working, like Pranay said, that love doing research work. So yeah, that's one thing I really enjoy. I love reading papers. I love finding new algorithms, talking about machine learning in specific. When it comes to my contribution to the ecosystem of developer community, I am leading actually two community three communities, sorry, three communities. One is GDG Cloud, one is Women Tech Makers New Delhi, one is Women in Machine Learning and Data Science. I think it has been a great journey so far. I started from my first event and I remember it very vividly, that I just was there to attend it, to know how everything is going, what happens in meetups, what happens in communities. I went there and I learned so much that I just loved whatever was happening. Even though some of the things I did not understand, because obviously they were doing a series of events. I mean, it was one of the series that they were doing, and I attended the fourth meetup of that series. It was a five meetup thing. I got to know about the fourth one, so I went, And in spite of not knowing the previous content, I still learned so much, and it was about machine learning. It was from Women Who Code, and from there I started attending GDG meetups. I started attending whichever meetup I could go to. I used to be there, and I used to really feel that this is a part of me. I would love to do something, and in no time I did not even realize that. I think in about 2 to 3 months I was just on the other side, where I was conducting events, I was giving talks, I was giving sessions, I was actually helping people to sort of help in their career understanding or whatever, where I was just like in matter of 2 months everything just changed, so it was so unbelievable and so quick that I just did not understand. And from there I think everybody has been so welcoming. Whosoever I met, I have to give this to them, that they gave me the kind of enthusiasm. Because when I went to all these people when I was extremely new and I didn't know anyone, so they came, they motivated me, they helped me. So it gave me the zest to, yeah, that I have to be like one of those. And it inspired me so much. There are so many friends in Women Who Code where I actually met earlier. Not like just talk to them once, it was the thing that I had in my mind. I would just explain them that I really want to do this, if I could get their views and their opinions on it. And in no time I became their friends. And that was, I think, the best thing. So things just started off. I just in 6 months, then following 6 months I became an organizer of a community. So I got very responsible that I have to make this community as big. And by big I don't mean just by numbers, I mean in terms of content, in terms of opinions exchange, female engagement, anything that I could do, I have to make it to the fullest. So that was one thing that really motivated me. And I have an excellent team. Whosoever I have meted have been so cooperative. I mean, we worked at nights also, knowing that the following day we are having our exams. We have been so committed to our work. Everybody has deadlines, everybody has, other work also. I'm not saying that the community thing is the only thing that one does. There are other things also apart from community that you want to do. You want to work on yourself to, give yourself great tags, become a tech influencer, get into great companies, do great research work. I mean, for each of its own. But yeah, that, I mean, but the love that everybody contributed for the community, it was just different. And it is still has been, the I think, one of the best experiences that I've had in my life. And from there I just started off doing whatever I could in my bit. I love giving tech talks. That's also one thing that I really enjoy, because I think this is the most quick and the most spontaneous information exchange that can happen. And there are a lot of problem statements that we know that are there, but we never recognize them. I mean, there might be, okay, there's a problem with this system, but we don't recognize that there is a solution present in that problem statement. So I think a lot of people identified with it, a lot of people resonated with it, and it all began from there, and it is still going on. So it's great.
Not to be surprised, everyone applauded. That has been a great journey. Amazing,
Thank
amazing
you.
journey.
Thank you.
I really hope it inspires someone to join a local community, or maybe just start contributing to any community. But yeah, developer communities have an entire, they are much more collaborative, because there's a lot much more to do, right? Not to undermine any other community of maybe people who might be putting in efforts around their area with
Definitely.
but
Any
then
community.
I really hope that this inspires someone to move forward and contribute wherever they can, in any place wherein they feel that they can enable people and help people out. It definitely has been a very inspiring journey.
Thank you.
Um, cool. So let's start off with the second set. Recently started off with your job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Started off as a machine learning engineer. Could you comment on what education you have had and what courses you have undertaken that led you to, getting this job, and what process that you've gone through, that the, you basically working as a machine learning engineer. I think it's been like 6 months since you got this job. um, how does someone really, as a beginner or as a fresher, fresh out of college, get to a machine learning engineer's role, and what kind of education do they need?
I think the basic is again your bachelor's, but there are a lot of good companies who don't even care about your degree anymore. If you're able to solve their problem statements, if you're able to crack their like their interview rounds, as we say. So if you're able to crack them, great. There are a lot of great companies who are like Amazon and I mean a lot of companies I will not name because I'm not sure how many, but there are quite a few that who are actually even considering you without a degree, without a bachelor's degree. So I did my bachelor's, I did my engineering in information and technology, and I'll be very honest, whatever I have done in college is nothing as compared to what I have done from outside, because I think college was just like a place to hang out with my friends. For me, not in general, for me, I have been like that. I used to just go to college and sometimes not even go to college because it was really far off, so I used to really feel pestered going also. But one thing that I've learned from my college is that everybody in my college does something, so people are not just, if they're not coming to college or they're not working in college, they are doing something separately on their own. They're learning, they are creating projects, they are working on research projects, for example, or maybe an internship. However they can help themselves in learning new technologies, they are at it. And I think that again motivated me, apart from whatever I learned from the developer ecosystem and from communities, that there are people who are working now. It's your choice where you want to sort of stand, right? Like I am somebody, I'm very ambitious, so I cannot think that I will not be able to do it. Yeah, maybe I don't have that much of intellect, but I think the only thing that I feel is that just keep doing it. One day or the other, I will just learn it. I never think that I'm super smart or anything. I just think that you need to be on it. So I did a very strange thing, which people initially told me that you shouldn't have done it. That I started doing machine learning from Andrew NG course, and it is a very deep, detailed course. And I did that in my second year, where I did not know what how operating system works. I did not know what is how processes and multi-threading, multitasking, everything. The core programming I had no clue of because I had not studied those things. And I think I started off very early. There were a lot of things that I did not understand. I kept googling them, I kept understanding them. Gradually I had an idea, okay, this is what would happen, I think. But the moment I started getting into the core of it, I got to know about so many things that it was just like everything just came into my mind all of a sudden. Okay, so it works like this now. So one thing I would definitely recommend everybody, that even if you feel it's difficult, just don't just lose touch of it, because then you will not remember anything. You need to give it your 200%, because there were things that I could not understand at all. There were a lot of mathematical concepts which just went above my head. To quote like really basic examples, if I say I did not know what kernel means, and SVM is a topic, it's support vector machine, it's basically a machine learning algorithm which was quite dependent on a kernel function, and I did not understand that at all. So I thought this is something that I chose a wrong topic for my career. My field is very difficult and all of that. Again, I was also very unsure of it. But I just started seeing a lot of videos to understand what exactly is support vector machine and how does it work. I got a lot of books from people. I used to ask them because I remember those books were like around 2,000 rupees or something when I used to see on Amazon or wherever. So I used to think I should not buy them. What if I don't understand from that also? I used to have those kind of things. So I just started asking people. who were in those fields. Can you explain me how does this work? And I started seeing a lot of video lectures. Gradually, I think post 2 to 3 months, I got an idea that how exactly an SVM works. So definitely, I would recommend college students that even if you're starting off too early, and there would be a lot of things that you would not understand because they are interdependent on a lot of things which you would be studying subsequently in your years. But definitely give it a shot. Explore. Internet is the biggest thing that we have right now. Explore however you can, how much you can. And I think the moment you will start understanding, you will like it even more. How you were, personally having the confidence or maybe the liking towards it, it will really exponentially increase, and that would be one of your best days, I think, because that's how I started off. And with my job, I think again you need to be really good with competitive coding because a lot of companies do ask for it. And it depends also, for different profiles they require different competitive coding levels also. I mean, the hierarchy is there. So for a software engineer, it would be far more far-fetched for a data scientist. Mine was definitely, I had to crack a coding competition, I had to give a machine learning interview. So you need to be aware of both the things. Obviously both of them are very different concepts altogether, but you need to know your core and you need to know your field. Even if you answer something wrong, or maybe let's say it's not very appropriate for the interview to ask you. Let's say they've asked you about a particular problem statement, but you've just said take the zest, like thoda bahut you knew, and you could just tell them that. So that is also good enough for somebody who's starting off with an internship or maybe with a full-time role, whatever. But at least you know how it can be solved, I think, is the main thing that is being checked, because no, everybody knows that you've not really done the kind of work they expect of you. And they don't actually expect also, they kind of have that thing in their head. But definitely how to solve a problem, the approach, I think, is very important. And that will definitely come if you keep solving problems, if you keep finding solutions in your day-to-day practices. I think that would really help. I
Amazing.
hope it answers.
Yeah, that definitely answers, and that is a great insight to how people should get started. But beyond that, I remember you telling me that you also had a stint, or you spent some time at Coding Ninjas learning machine learning. So my question around that is, how was that experience, and would you recommend such coaching institutes or such online courses to other people? And how have they influenced of what you do today, or how machine learning influences uh, of how that has influenced how you do machine learning today? What has that experience had an impact on you?
I think definitely, like I said, there were a lot of core things that I did not understand when I was doing those videos, because I was I would not say I was very young, but what I mean to say is that I was not exposed to other information. And I was just starting with my second year. I had very few and very limited resource. For me, I did not know where to google from or what resources to put. So I was obviously in a very limited resource bag for myself. But like I said, there were few things that I did not understand, so I thought I should join the course, and I did. It's not I would recommend people to join the course if they really think that they cannot learn on their own. Any course for that matter, I think courses help you get you the knowledge from the basic level, from the foundation level. So that is very important. Let's say I know an algorithm, but I have no clue how it works. I don't know the pseudocode of it, if to put it very basic, and I don't know how does it work, what exactly happens in it. Then I would not be able to solve a problem very well. So I think again, you can do that through yourself also. There's no need for you to join the course. If you think you are not able to solve a problem on your own, then definitely not a mandate for you to join a course. But if you think you are still stuck somewhere, then I think a course really helps you. There are a lot of courses now. Coding Ninjas is very good. I think Ankush Bhaiya is one of the most hands-on teacher I've met in my life, and he is extremely helpful. I remember post my course also, I used to go to him a couple of times because I started my research internship at IIT Delhi, and it was he actually it's very funny that he was student of my professor, the professor under whom I was doing my research. So he was in in her class, and I think that he's done a paper also, whether I'm not too sure, but he told me that he had done some project under her. So that also helped me understand. And I think it's very important for people not to just limit themselves to online information, but to physically interact also, because there are a lot of things that they'll just, whatever is online, it's just a prototype, it's there for everybody. But what you could physically understand from is very different. People would give you and share their physical, their personal problems and challenges, how to sort of look at a problem and find solutions, or even the basic idea of starting off. I mean, a personal interaction is way better than, I think, any online repeated case study, or like just going through videos. But definitely nobody has that kind of time to explain the entire field or the curriculum. So you should definitely take up courses if you cannot research everything online and you think you are lagging somewhere. So definitely that. And definitely, I think this is one of the most important things: please reach out to people who are doing very well in that domain, or are even just a year or two old. I think they would resonate with your problem and with your understanding and approach pretty well, because they've been in that journey and not very far off. I mean, just six matter of 6 or 7 months, they were like how you are. So I think those people would really help you, because they will say ki, yaar, you will fail here, ye problem you would feel, but if you do it like this, then things would be better. So reaching out to people is again very, very important, so one should definitely try that.
Oh, that's an amazing insight. So yeah, I think people should reach out to someone who's that experience. I can say this firsthand because I was probably one of those people who would keep struggling with things online. But then this is a really great and effective way to get your problems done early and in time. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. I mean, people are generally more than often supportive of what you.
Yeah. And I think if you ask also, no, so not only your like the person who's asking, his or her vision expands, but the person who tells you also learns a lot from it. So this was one of the reasons that I started taking a lot of tech sessions, because I thought, because I have to give a session tomorrow, I should know everything about this. This was one of the key factors that really motivated me. Okay, I have to give a talk. Now I'm giving a talk on this. Let's say I should know everything about it, because if what if somebody asks me and I don't know, so that person would also be in some confusion, and I don't want to mislead anyone. So I used to spend much more time in learning. And when somebody used to ask me and maybe I have not considered that, then at that point I used to think, okay, iska ye ho sakta hai, that can happen, this can happen. I used to feel, okay, yeah, there's a solution, this is the solution. So it not only helps the person who wants to learn, but it helps the person who has learned it anyway. So it's beneficial for either of them. And nobody knows everything. I mean, in the world, nobody knows everything. You are here to learn, and we are in this pandemic now, everybody is trying to learn to create the vaccine. So nobody knew that something like this would happen. So I think there's no issue and no harm. A lot of people, I think, are little hesitant in asking and feeling ki, oh my god, what is this person is going to think, what if I ask, and they might think that I am not good enough, I have not understood. You are here to understand, and for that you have to not understand so that you can understand. I mean, if you get what I mean, it was almost like a riddle. But definitely you're not going to understand everything in one go, so you need to, so for you to understand, you need to not understand to understand. Okay, let's move on from this.
Okay, cool. You mentioned your internship at IIT. Could
Yeah.
you tell what internships you have done and how have they influenced what impact they have had on your career?
I think, working at IIT really changed me as a person, and it really opened all the doors for me. I think I have to accept this, that I did not know much before, but during my internship, I learned so many things. And there was one big thing that I was like always, I have spoken to you about it, but I just the other day also I was cribbing and crying that I had got an offer from a very elite company, and that was again because of IIT. So my mother recently, very recent, I was just talking about if I had been there, things would have been different and all of that. So my mother again said that it was not in your destiny. That's why you did not get it. So you have to accept it first. So I have now accepted it, that some if it will be there around me, it will definitely come back. So I got an offer from Facebook research team through my LinkedIn profile. I never applied anywhere. I never reached out to anybody from maybe from a referral or nothing. I did. I was completely clueless about it, and very sudden I got a message from one of the HRs that they're looking for a researcher at Facebook UK, and this is London. Facebook London and Dublin, both the positions were open for both, whichever you want to choose. And there were a lot of series of interviews which I even cleared, and there was an on-site interview which for some reason did not happen. But even then I realized that with that interview process also I learned a lot, and that interview process only came because I had a tag on my LinkedIn profile that I'm interning at IIT Delhi. Because why would anybody come and cross my way and say that we would like you to give interviews or anything. So again, IIT, I know that it's little cliche, but these tags do matter, because they sort of uplift you from the crowd. I think I have realized that sometimes just by graduating from a premier college, things become super easy. I feel sometimes, obviously it depends a lot on you also. There are a lot of people who might be working at who might be studying at really good colleges, but are not really investing in themselves. But people who do invest and have good connections in terms of colleges, companies, it gets really a lot of opportunities fly out your way. But if you are not from those, I think you need to put in a lot more effort to get into those. So I'm not undermining, or neither am I siding a particular college or anything. All I'm just trying to say is that a person who, let's say I and somebody who's graduating from IIT applies for a Google this thing, so the HR at times, since they have so many applications, they are most likely to reject my profile and accept his or her, I mean whosoever is in the competition. So there are a lot of these cases, which we and those can be only tackled if you try and do extra hard work, and you get into all these premier internships. If you get premier internships, or you get like really, you do great projects, great papers, where you are an icing that yeah, this person was capable, even though they were not of XYZ college, but they really worked hard, and it was harder for them to work because those students have it in their own campus and everything, since you don't. So again, that is one thing that I think students should take care, that apply for internships wherever, good companies, good research organizations, institutions, wherever. I think if you get into it, that's great, but to get into it also you need to definitely work hard. You need to have something to show. I knew that if I would go to IIT without any without any work before, I would not get selected. So I thought of doing an average public, I mean, it was basically a conference which was not very good, not very bad. It was somewhere in between, like it was like okay types. So I knew that okay, I have to have one paper at least and one project at least to show her that yes, I am capable of doing it. I did this on my own, and I did everything on my own. I read the paper, I created the paper, I wrote everything, I did all the research on my own, and then I have um, gotten a paper from there. And if you give me a chance, I will like to publish a paper in much more higher conferences. which are obviously very prestigious and really, looked up to. So because of that, she accepted my profile and she gave me an opportunity to intern under her. And I think you learn a lot. There are a lot of great students there who are extremely hardworking. I met a few of them and they've really encouraged me. And my friends also, in general, I think I have good friends who are very much into their career and they really believe in working hard, and they really pick up very difficult problems to solve. I think they're also very much like me, and I think that's why I am also somebody who chooses people, like, I think, very wisely. I think I have that thing in my head that I cannot be with a company who is just sitting around. I don't know, I just get very angry at those people. I feel that do something, how can you just not spend your time not doing something? So I think you need to have a lot of character for that. I believe that's for sure. If you are very headstrong in your mind that you have to do this, then I think you will. And definitely IIT, the internship at IIT helped me get into the interview series for Facebook. And even though I was not able to go for the offsite, sorry, the on-site, but I, just to learn, just to crack for the interviews, I had to really study and I had to really, work on my very basic skills. So that really helped me learn also. So definitely, giving interviews really help you learn, because at least for that matter, you start learning and start exploring. We could just, get through this. So yeah, for students, I think you should just start giving interviews wherever and whenever. Even if you have just done very few things, I think it's okay. You can just start off. You'll get to know about the questions also that the interviewer asks. Okay, maybe this particular field wants to know this also, so next time you'll be prepared with that particular question. And those are the things also that really helps.
Nice. So it has been an amazing journey in that sense.
Yeah.
You know, getting from IIT. Any other internship that you did, or maybe you want to touch on?
Yeah, it was an internship that I did in my second year. It was an industrial internship. It was just for 2 months. It was a very small and quick internship, I think. And it was at G-Span in Gurgaon. And I just actually it was like more or less like it was just a starting base for me, I think, that I was doing. It was just a jump off to understand how everything is around me, what kind of data am I going to get, because my work was very minimal. I just completed my first year, and I think in second year I got that. I mean, before second year, the span that we have, I got into that internship and I learned a lot from it. I just got to know how to annotate data and all of that. That was the basic thing that I did. And it was a very basic internship, but at least I was exposed to something that I would eventually be working on. So I think with that I got to know the kind of data that we're going to get, how exactly are we going to have an approach to solve a question, what kind of informations do we have to eliminate from the data, how to sort of do all the data pre-processing thing that we do. So those kind of things really helped me. I really got to know a lot. But again, that was a very small and very quick internship. So I think I did not do much in terms of having the control of the project and doing everything on my own. I was mostly, it was what I was told I was doing that, since I had no clue what was happening around me. But definitely, it really helped me understand what exactly happens. So I think the overall structure just came into my mind. Okay, S, I have to do. So it was like that. So that really again helped me a lot.
Great. Okay. So you mentioned your internship at IIT, wherein you have done some research. Um,
Right.
remember me telling about your research in fairness in AI, and could you tell me about the topics that researched on, or the papers that you published, so that the people would know
Yeah.
what the means.
Hmm. Sorry. Yeah, I worked on, like I said, I worked on natural language processing and I worked on sarcasm detection. So we were working on this. We published a paper at AAAI, and we basically, there were three people on this project. The professor herself, I mean, she was not, she was just helping us with ideation and everything. Then the PhD scholar whose PhD thesis this was about, and I was a part of that project. I mean, part of the project I was a complete part of, but I mean the thesis, it was just a basic part of it, so I was doing, helping him with that. And definitely my catch was that I would get a great paper out of it, so I wanted to work on it. The problem was that we were working on social media data analysis, if I have to make people understand with that. So there were a lot of companies who were actually trying to get into these kind of information, because nowadays people are tweeting more rather than using emails or like calling the call centers or anything, just so that everybody gets to know about it. It's out there with everybody. It's not just like, if I have to write an email, it's just between me and the company, and nobody gets to know about it. But Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I mean, whichever social media you want to name, generally Twitter, because I think it has a lot of masses there. So people used to write a lot of sarcastic opinions about product, about the services, etc. So we were trying to find how in the system or the model is going to understand that this particular statement is a sarcastic statement or not. So we were using an approach of finding sentiments, and if there is, in the same sentence, if, or in the same context, if there's a sentiment reverse, then we would label it as sarcastic statement. For others, to just give an example to everybody, let's say I say that I would like to go for movies, or I say I'm watching this movie and I really like it, and I like it so much that I just came out of the theater, or I mean something like that. So here we understand, if you like so much, then you are, supposedly you have to stay, but since you walk out of the theater or the film, then definitely you are not liking it, and there's some sarcastic opinion about it. So that's one thing. But I think mainly it's that we had to definitely study a lot on the data. That was one thing. I had to self annotate a lot of data which were sarcastic, but I also had to apply a lot of my head, a lot of in like discussions were there, because for me it was like, okay, this is like a like normal statement, but for somebody it might be sarcastic. There are a lot of, because it depends on the tone when you say it verbally, or it depends on the tone. Again, like I say, you are very intelligent. Now I don't know whether it's a sarcastic statement or not, but they say, oh my god, you're so intelligent, yeah, like, that's all clap and also you get to know, right? But with the textual information, it is definitely difficult. I had to go through a lot of papers. I did a lot of research work, and finally I came up with an idea of this, that we can, if there's a sentiment reverse in a particular tweet or in a particular comment or in a particular text information, I mean the data description, then definitely that is going to be sarcastic statement. So it was a lot of hard work, but I think it was quite fun to sometimes read the data also, to know how people react. And a lot of companies are also trying to work on it, because there are many people who are like, for services or for other, like, basically mainly for services, or maybe for order packages with Flipkart and Amazon, like they are like really at it, and they keep tweeting sarcastic comments. So it helps the companies also to understand, okay, there is a problem in this and we have to solve it. Manually dealing with tweets is very difficult, and obviously there are a lot of people right now that the company are employing. For them also it is difficult, but I think if you automate that, then it's great.
Amazing. Um, okay, so you also told me that so you published a research paper, or I was it a paper or was it a conference, because
So
you
you
have also
publish
worked.
papers at conferences.
Yeah, so my
Yeah.
question is somewhere else. It's so
Okay.
you spoke at Berlin Buzzwords about a framework by IBM for
Yeah,
fairness
yeah.
in AI. Could you
For
talk about that?
debasing, yeah. So that is not my paper. I just liked that paper. Like I said, I used to read a lot of papers, and somebody at IBM, I remember there was a session happening at IBM, and I went and I attended. So they were talking about their particular research paper that their IBM research team has published, and I really liked the idea, and I thought. This is a good topic to give technical talk so that people would also get to know about their product and about the research idea and the whole process. So I used that topic and I applied at Berlin Buzzwords. For those who are not sure what Berlin Buzzwords is, it's basically a very prestigious conference at Europe. I mean, in Europe, it's like one of the best conferences of machine learning and AI and cloud. And they sort of have like call for speakers. You apply your
Sakshi, I can't hear you. No. Can everyone else hear her? Is Sakshi audible? Yeah, people can't hear you either. No. I'm sorry. Just could just wait, everyone. If you could just hold on for like 2 minutes. Technical glitch. I don't know. Hello. Sakshi has to rejoin. Sorry. Um, So in meanwhile, how is everyone else doing? Um, we're expecting the lockdown to be over next week. So if this doesn't go through this time, we'll put up another round. Or we definitely have more people coming in next week. I'll need another minute. Um, Sakshi has joined in. Again, she's having some problems. Um, let's wait another minute. Probably. Sorry. We might have to drop off because this is just not happening the way we planned it. And I hope you enjoyed the rest of the session, and I hope it has been in some ways or the other helpful to you. We'll probably try to put our uh, textual format to it, and then maybe Sakshi can answer that way. Um, you can post it on GitHub or somewhere that it's readable and accessible to people, and then they can read about what we had planned and how we really wanted it to go. Let's just wait another minute or two, and then let's probably, I think it would be wiser to drop off. So I had a word with Sakshi. She is not able to connect, and it would probably take more time. You can create another stream and then you just upload it on YouTube, or maybe provide it in textual format. But for the moment, we would have to drop off because she is just not able to connect the mic and the device. The mic and the camera are not able to connect to the browser. That's the message that she's receiving. But yeah, let's look forward to the upcoming sessions. We have one tomorrow about cloud data flow, wherein Webher and I would be talking about cloud data flow as a product and how you can build large scale ETL serverless pipelines using an open source framework such as Apache Beam. And then from there on, yeah, next week again we would have some technical sessions. We would have some sessions around similar sessions with other people in the community ecosystem. Again, Arpan, Shilpa, Sid, Vishal, Webhub, trying to get in more developers, designers. It's for everyone who's been a part of this community or any other community, and it just give a perspective of how people have come in and they have how they have grown and what has led them to provide to or enable other people in their vicinity to do more. Thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you so much for sticking on for so long. I can still see 11 people who have still been online despite everything not working at all, and very patient. I'm very grateful for you. Um, but I hope this does not happen again with other people uh, that we interview. And yeah, let's just look forward to the next one. Thank you so much, and yeah, take care, stay healthy, stay safe. See you soon. I hope we get to do in-person meetups as soon as the situation gets better, and we are able to have in-person meetups. We are in that capacity. We had definitely we have a couple of things in line. We wanted to, again, this birthday meetup, we wanted to do it in person, and but then we have Codes coming up. We probably will start planning around. I don't know how DevFest would go this year, but I definitely Codes is something that I'm really looking forward to personally. Uh, and yeah, let's just see how things can pan out. And I hope we have an amazing year like last one. We will definitely be publishing some details soon of how the year has been, and hope to receive feedback from you people for how and what where the community can grow. Until then, yeah, see ya, bye, take care, and yeah, have a great day, have a great weekend, bye.